In 1927, during the era of industrialization, the Soviet government decided to build the Ural heavy machinery plant in Yekaterinburg. It was a large-scale construction project, and people from all over USSR came here to help build it. Since the plant was huge and located quite far from Yekaterinburg, at the time called Sverdlovsk, it became necessary to settle workers nearby. That is why during the plant construction, people also began building a residential area, which had convenient infrastructure so that workers wouldn't need to travel far to get to the plant. The master layout plan of the settlement was developed in 1929 by Fyodor Oransky. He was a young architect from Leningrad who has just finished his studies. Inspired by the task, he chose an unusual construction scheme. The streets formed triangular blocks, which some Yekaterinburg residents who are unfamiliar with the area find confusing even today. The plan was not chosen by chance. The axis of the streets, located at a 45-degree angle, created the shortest pedestrian paths to the factory for workers. The streets converged on the first 5-year plant square. The most important and defining buildings of the district are located here. Most of the famous Uralmash buildings are made in the style of constructivism. Constructivist architecture was a style of modern architecture that flourished in the Soviet Union in the 1920s and early 1930s. Abstract and austere, the movement aimed to reflect modern industrial society and urban space, while rejecting decorative stylization in favor of the industrial assemblage of materials. Bauhaus specialists participated in designing many places here. Bauhaus, not the band, but a German art school, was operational from 1919 to 1933 and combined crafts and the fine arts. For example, researchers see the influence of the Bauhaus school in the ribbon glazing of the House of Technical Studies building. Bela Scheffler, a graduate of the Bauhaus school, designed the interiors for this facility. The building itself was designed by Oransky and was built using the latest technologies. Initially, it was designed as a 48-apartment building, but no one really moved in. Then, in 1935, this place became the plant management building. One of the most famous buildings is the Madrid Hotel, which historically was never really a hotel. Its name is a sign of solidarity with Spain, where from 1936 to 1939 there was a civil war. The legend goes that the evacuated Spaniards lived in this building during this war. The architecture of this building is a combination of constructivism and neoclassical styles. Initially, it was designed without stucco and balusters, but everything changed in 1932, when the course in the field of architecture changed, which required some adjustments to the project. Today, unfortunately, the building stands abandoned and empty. The White Tower is one of the main attractions of the Uralmash district. Built in 1929 and designed by Moisei Reicher, it is an epitome of bold and talented technical thought, a masterpiece of constructivist architecture. It symbolizes the beginning of the era of reinforced concrete in construction, demonstrating the capabilities of the new building material. Since 2016, this place serves as a museum. One of the most prominent quarters of Uralmash is the home of the Chantry, dubbed so by the locals. It consists of buildings with improved layout, with spacious and comfortable rooms built for engineering intelligentsia. The most prominent building is the Green 100 apartment building, in the courtyard of which there are still lampposts of that time. There is also a fountain in the style of Stalinist Baroque that has not been functioning for a long time, but is still one of the place's attractions. Another building worth mentioning is a spiritual and educational center built in the early 2000s. The 4-story building with ribbon windows and a ledge is made in a style reminiscent of constructivism. For Yekaterinburg today, the center is one of the most atypical religious buildings from an architectural point of view. And what about today? Today, Uralmash, while preserving its unique historical heritage, remains a vibrant and developing area.